these brackets are actually designed for anywhere between a 2-inch and a 4-inch lift. They're dirt cheap, really inexpensive, well worth the money, especially if you don't want to spend a lot of money on the braided brake lines. These are definitely a good alternative. Good morning, guys, and welcome to another episode of Bubba's Garage. I hope you guys are having a fabulous day. Guys, not long ago when we were down on Old Ore Road, we had a little bit of articulation and one of the wheels came up off the ground. I was a little concerned that that might be my brake line brackets. If you recall, the AEV installation, we never did install the brake line extension brackets. And that's just because I thought they were kind of hokey. And I kind of wanted to install like some entire stainless steel braided brake lines and things like that. And I never got around to it. And of course, change of trip plans and we went out to Big Bend. Yeah. So that was a little scary. I did order some brake line extension brackets from Summit Racing. I will leave a link in the description down below so you guys can check these out. They do not come painted, just FYI. They come plain steel. We actually painted them up the other day because we also fabricated a bracket for the Apollo Intech switch, well, source control system underneath the hood. And we'll get to that in the next episode. But today, what I want to do is I want to lift this thing up. What I want to do is I want to lift it up, put a jack under it, and see, I want to see if it really gives any tension on the brake line without installing brackets. I'm sure there's a reason why they give you the extension, but I'm going to check it out before I install the new brackets. I think that's a good idea because I'm just curious. And in the end, we're probably still going to install the brackets because it gives you just a little bit of peace of mind.
A little bit more comfort room.
Yeah, a little bit. Not too bad. And honestly, we are going to do the update on how we feel about the AEV 2.5-inch Dual Sport XT suspension lift here really soon. And you might actually be surprised at some of the comments that we actually have. So first up, let's jack this thing up and see if we can break a brake line.
Everybody wants a little piece of the cake. Always coming up too little too late. Digging your way up from the bottom. This game ain't for the weary-hearted one.
All right, guys, you can actually see there is a lot of tension on this brake line right here. Brake line runs down all the way behind the shock, mounts here. This is fine, but this portion is a major issue. We're going to install some brackets. We're going to bolt up here. It's going to come up a little bit and kind of give that a little bit, well, a little bit of slack. Yeah, that's a little scary.
This game ain't for the weary-hearted one. Let's get it started too. This ain't a party 3. Are you ready to go? I don't even really need a number 4. So hey, let's get down to it. I can hear you talking, but I wanna see you prove it. Said hey, let's get down to it. I can hear you talking, but I wanna see you prove it. It's a moment, go and grab it. Now's the time to prove it.
All right, now when you install these brackets, you need to pay attention because one bracket is for the driver's side, the other bracket is for the passenger side. This is part number 7204. This is for the driver's side. And what you're actually going to do is you're going to install it like that. Notice the bolt holes are on the left-hand side. This is for the driver's side. And the slots on the right-hand side. This is going to go in to your existing brake line spot, and you're going to put a bolt through there. Now guys, keep in mind it does not come with the tools, it doesn't come with the tools either, but it doesn't come with the nuts and bolts that you need to put on for the bottom. So keep that in mind. We're going to pop this in real quick. Wasn't really hard getting that one out, and then we're going to move on to the other side.
Everybody wants a little extra something. What you gonna do to go and rise above it? Don't sit down, keep moving on, yeah.
I love those winter edition wheels. If you have any 2017, 2018 maybe, winter edition wheels that you're going to take off your Jeep Wrangler, leave me a comment. Actually, send me a PM. Reach out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all of those things. Just reach out because I'd like to get a set, especially if you're in Texas. Yeah, I'd like to get a set. We actually want a set for Bobby's 2016 Jeep Wrangler Black Bear. And I've been out on the forums and stuff like that, and they're a little hard to come by. I think if anything, we'll probably look at Jeep. But this driver's side is completely done. The bracket, the factory bracket going into the extension bracket was a little tight. So you notice I kind of had to bang on it. And then I had to cut down the screw, and we'll talk more about that here in a little bit. I want to see what happens on this passenger side. But it is well, it's engineered, the bracket is engineered really well. It's a perfect fit. Perfect fit. Next up, let's do this passenger side, and hopefully we don't run into any problems. So far, so good. Really.
So far, so good.
Everybody wants a little piece of the cake. Yeah, always coming up too little, too late. Digging your way up from the bottom. Hey, let's get started. This game ain't for the weary-hearted. Hey, let's get down to it. I can hear you talking, but I wanna see you prove it. Said, hey, let's get down to it. I can hear you talking, but I wanna see you prove it. Hey, let's get down to it. Let's get down to it. Let's get down to it. I can hear you.
Well, that wasn't actually that bad. It actually went really well. I'm really pleased with these brackets. Just heads up, there is 7204 is a part number for the driver's side, and 7203 is the part number for the passenger side. I'll leave links to that there in the description. Honestly, if you're installing the AEV Dual Sport 2.5 inch, the XT, the brackets that come with it suck. I mean, if you guys saw our video, you know exactly what I'm talking about. They're just cheesy. Do me a favor. Don't wait to put in new brackets. If you're not going to go out the next day or a week later and buy new brackets or brake line extensions, then go ahead and install the ones that you have, because it's not worth the risk being out on the trails and then breaking or snapping a brake line. That could be a very, very, very bad situation.
And we got very lucky on this trip.
We did, and you saw it. We lifted it up, and sure enough, there was a lot of tension on that brake line. And back in Old Ore Road, I believe it is when we had the passenger side wheel up off the ground. Now, it wasn't off the ground for very long, so that was really good. But if those lines were already seen, any wear and tear on them, I probably would have snapped, and I'd probably been stuck on that trail. So don't do that. Definitely get it taken care of ASAP.
It's not worth the risk.
It's not. And these brackets are actually designed for anywhere between a 2-inch and a 4-inch lift. They're dirt cheap, really inexpensive, well worth the money, especially if you don't want to spend a lot of money on the braided brake lines. These are definitely a good alternative. Now, we have another modification we're going to be making to the Jeep Wrangler in a future episode, something that I believe AEV probably should have done. Outside of probably should have given you some better brackets. I mean, for the price of these things and the price of the lift kit for the, come on, AEV, step it up. I mean, people are buying quality products. You could have included some brackets like this.
They could have done a better job.
Yeah, definitely. So we got one thing checked off our list here. Got another thing coming up here really soon. We have a bracket that we've recently modified. We're going to be installing that for the Apollo Intech source control system. We run the 8-switch, and on our trip it bounced a lot. So again, just another peace of mind. We're going to be installing that bracket and maybe another suspension component, but we'll see what happens. We'll see. Guys, if you like this video, do me a favor, give us a huge thumbs up. And if you really like this video and want to stick around to find out what happens next right here on Bubba's Garage, please subscribe. And until next time, we'll see you on the flip side. Good night, everybody.
Good night.